Hey everybody, Roy Diamonds Too Loyal, back again with another video. Today we're reacting to another MSA video. I'm in love with the next prisoner. Let's get into it, guys.
You see this mess? It's all my fault. Even though this may look like an action movie, this is actually a love story. When I was 15, me and my mom went on vacation. I basically didn't say a word the whole time. I had just gotten braces and I felt so ugly. Come on, honey. Just try to enjoy your vacation.
In my world, everybody thinks braces is cute.
How can I? I look like I just ate a fence. But you need your braces. I know I do. That's why I told you I didn't want to leave the house all summer. Yeah, I was a bit of a brat. But can you blame me? I was a moody 15-year-old girl and my smile looked like a meat grinder. I stayed in the vacation house all day and would only go out at night to take walks by the beach. One night, I was walking and I saw someone in front of me. It was a boy. I couldn't really tell what he looked like because we were both in the shadows. The moon was the only light we could see. Can't sleep either? Something like that. Actually, that's not why I'm out here. I don't want people to see me during the day because I have braces and I look horrible. You have braces too? Yeah. Do you?
He feel the same way she feel.
Yeah? I look like I ate a can of tuna fish. Well, your shadow's pretty. We hung out for a while and talked about how we both loved musicals and theater. He was funny and I made him laugh a lot too. He told me his name was Kyle. The next night, I went out and I saw him again. We kept meeting up in the darkness every night. And then, on our last night there, the sun's coming up soon. We should go.
What if we stayed and waited for the light? I don't care if you have braces. I already think you're beautiful.
So we sat there and waited for the sun. And when it rose, I finally saw him and he saw me. He was the cutest boy I ever saw, especially because of the braces. He leaned in to kiss me, but his mom called him, and then my mom called me. It was time to go.
They just met. How you trying to kiss already?
Promise me something. Never hide yourself in the dark again, okay?
Okay. I watched him go. His words stuck with me. And from then on, I started auditioning for shows and didn't mind my braces. Pretty soon, I was the most famous dancer in my whole town. Kyle and I talked online for a while, but I got busy doing plays and eventually we lost touch. I never thought I would see him again. And then, a few years later, on the opening night of the play at my community theater, everything changed. I had a slow dance solo in a sad scene, but I was really nervous because at all of our rehearsals, the boy
He looks so beautiful and I bet you he's gonna show up there.
Who was working the spotlight could never keep up with my dancing. I danced and to my surprise, I didn't slip out of the light at all, not even for a second. It was like I was dancing in starlight.
Aww.
Everyone stood up and cheered when I was done. It was exactly what I'd been dreaming of all my life. After the play, I ran upstairs to thank the boy for doing such a great job. Steve, that was amazing.
Thanks. Steve got sick, so I filled in.
Oh, hi. I'm Abigail.
Everybody knows who you are. I guess you don't recognize me without the braces.
Wait, Kyle? What are you doing here?
We moved a few months ago. I didn't know you were here either.
Steve couldn't keep up with me on the spotlight. How did you know where
What's going on with his hair, though?
Going at every step?
I didn't, but I figured you've been in the dark long enough.
Oh, good thing we both got our teeth fixed.
I'm just glad you couldn't see me. I've never cried at a play before.
You cried? I don't believe you.
Look for yourself.
Liar.
I guess they tried. Let me make it up to you. How about a celebration dinner?
My family's here, but tomorrow's good. The next 24 hours were the longest of my life. All day, I tried on different outfits and experiments with makeup. The truth was, even though we lost touch, I never forgot him and never felt that way with anyone else. I rushed outside when he called. What I wasn't expecting was that he had a motorcycle.
Wow, you didn't even bother to dress up?
Excuse me, do you know how long—
I'm kidding. You look beautiful.
Yeah,
He's about to go off.
I do. And don't you forget it. And you better have something good planned. I'm expecting a real effort and will accept nothing less.
I was planning on going to the Taco Bell drive-thru. Is that good?
You better be kidding.
0 points for the joke, but you have to admit, I have good taste.
Ow.
Don't worry, I have something planned. Not Taco Bell, promise.
We rode his bike, and I felt just like I did when I was dancing, totally free. It was like no time had passed at all, like we had known each other forever. He actually took me to this amazing new restaurant, paid before the check even got there, and took me to the beach after where we got ice cream and went for a long walk. I didn't want to show it, but I was already falling for him. With Kyle, it was just comfortable. We almost kissed when he was dropping me off, but I could tell he didn't want to pressure me and I didn't want to move too fast. So we shook hands. A little awkward, but kind of funny too. Needless to say, that night, he was all I could think of. If I knew how messy things were gonna get, I might have ended things right then. I'm
So is he the ex-prisoner?
freaking out. This job would make me totally independent. I could finally save enough to get my own place and not have to live with my stepdad anymore. That's great. Why are you so scared? My last job interview, I froze. I'm terrible at interviews. I get so anxious.
So, why do you want to work at our store? Are you serious right now? Sorry, we don't accept that kind of attitude here at our big fancy clothing store. You're fired.
After a while, he finally took it seriously, and we actually did a little mock interview. It went well, but he was still totally freaked out. You're doing great. Relax, just be yourself.
I really appreciate the help. I feel much better already, but the interview's not the only reason I'm nervous. There's something I have to tell you. I don't just want this job, I need it. It's part of my probation.
Probation? Like, you got arrested?
Yeah, if I can't keep a job, I could go to jail. They arrested me for reckless driving, but it wasn't my fault. My sister called me and she was having an asthma attack, so I had to drive her inhaler to her. The police were behind me, but I didn't stop. The judge gave me a break because I helped my sister, but he said if I get into any more trouble, I could go to jail.
I'm so sorry, but I'm sure you'll get the job, especially since you have all these interviewing skills now. And you know, I have asthma too, so I thank you for your service. We need people like you. Just then, my phone rang. It was my theater director. She said if he saw me dancing at our next show, I'd have a real chance of being hired on Broadway. It was my dream. And the next day, Kyle told me the interview went great and he got the job. Everything was perfect. All I had to do now was nail the performance and dance my heart out. But then, on the day
she would get on Broadway, but then wouldn't that mean, would dude still be her lighting person or whatever?
our next show, I was stretching at home, trying to stay calm, when Kyle called me in a panic.
Abby, I need your help. Yesterday, my boss sent me to deposit the store's money in the bank 5 minutes before they closed. I didn't make it on time, so I kept it under my bed to do it today, but now he's asking me to stay late and the bank closes early. Can't you just tell him that? They won't suspect you if you still have the money. My boss is already suspicious of me. He knows about the probation. If he knows I took it home, he'll think I wanted to take it. Please, Abby.
I would have to run, but I still had time before my show, and I knew how much trouble he could get into if they suspected him of a crime, so I said yes. I never ran so fast in my life. When I got to Kyle's house, no one was home and the doors and windows were locked. Time was ticking. I knew the banks closed at 3. That only gave me 20 minutes. Then I saw the attic window was open. So I started climbing. Oh no. Come on, Abigail. Use those strong dancing legs of yours. Finally, I got in. I went to his room, grabbed the envelope from under the bed, and dashed back out. Everything went blank for a moment. Then
I know dang well she ain't jump out the window like that.
the world came back into focus, and I saw that I had run into a boy who was staring at the envelope. It got ripped, and he could see the money inside. I grabbed it before he had a chance to do anything and kept running. I saw the bank. Finally, it was right there. I had made it with 2 minutes to spare.
Miss Abigail.
Oh my, it's really you. I couldn't believe it. I had only seen him on TV before. I was totally starstruck for a second.
I'm coming to your show tonight. I can't wait to see you. We have an opening for our next show. We need someone just your age. As long as you can dance, of course.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. I can't talk right now. I have to run. I'll explain later. I'm sorry. I was in too much of a rush to think about the fact that I had just very rudely turned my back on the guy who could give me my dream life.
So she ain't want to do it, but she trying to hurry up and get to her friend.
Oh no, what was I gonna do? When in doubt, just tell the truth. I could just say it was my fault. What a jerk! I ran after him, but he was too fast on the
is that
scooter.
same dude that seen her drop the money? He came and snatched it out her hand.
By the time I turned the corner, he was gone. Oh no, now Kyle was really in trouble. I couldn't move. I didn't know what to do. How could I explain this? No one would believe me. At the store, I told Kyle everything. When he saw his boss, he told me to hide behind the rack of clothes. But I can explain.
He won't believe you, and you'll be involved.
He pulled the rack in front of me as his boss rushed up to him.
The bank says they didn't get the money, Kyle. Where is it? I'm sorry. It was my responsibility. The money was stolen. Thief! I knew this would happen. They told me you were on parole, but I wanted to give you a chance. Now, I'm
So
calling
he's saying that he stole the money because he ain't gonna believe the real story.
the police. I'm sorry, Abigail. I'll have to miss your show.
He rushed to the motorcycle. I couldn't believe it. He was gonna run?
I know it seems crazy, but without the money or any evidence, they'll think I took it. There's no option for me now.
But I was totally lost, confused, and so upset with myself. There had to be a way to fix it, but I couldn't even think about that now because it was time for the biggest performance of my life. The producer was right there in the front row, watching, and he didn't look too happy. I had been so rude to him. All I could do now was rely on my dancing skills to get me through, except Steve was on the spotlight, and I was still out of breath from running and so
Steve is
upset
the
that
one that
Kyle
can't
was
keep
in
the
trouble
light
with the
still.
police. When my solo came, I was so upset, I fell on stage and cried in front of everyone. I ran off, and the show was canceled for the night.
Oh,
As I was
no.
walking home, totally crushed, I decided to only focus on what I could control. The show was over, but I could still help Kyle. I would tell his boss it was me who had stolen the money. Of course, I would get in trouble, but not as much as Kyle. This is where we began. The big mess I had made. He looked at me as he passed. I wanted to stop the police, but they were too fast. But I knew the park next to me would take me right to where they were going. If I could run across, I could catch them and stop the police to tell them it was me. Once again, I was running. Only this time, I didn't have my inhaler. I forgot I had left it in my dressing room when I ran out crying.
Crap.
As I cut through the park, I couldn't breathe. I saw Kyle's bike on the other side. He saw me too, but
He
before
gone though.
I knew it, I was fainted on the muddy ground. When I woke up, I was in his arms. He had stopped to help and the police cars were rushing towards us. I was in the hospital for a day. My mom told me that Kyle was arrested, but I knew he would have to see the judge before they really made any decision. I asked her when it was, and she said today. I made her drive me to court as soon as the doctor said it was okay. I rushed inside. Stop! It was me. I lost the money. Kyle didn't do anything wrong, I promise. Even though the judge believed me, he still said we were to blame. And Kyle ran from the police, so if he was going to be released, we needed to pay back the money to the store. I started working at the theater, and Kyle also had to go back to his job. We both made no money because we had to give it all away and were too exhausted to even hang out. It was the perfect punishment for me since I could barely see him and had to watch other people perform while I cleaned and took people's tickets. Of course, anytime I did have a free moment, I danced.
Hey, hero. You have a second?
He had come to surprise me at work. He took me to the auditorium where everything had been decorated for what looked like a big party. What's going on?
Well, I figured you have to pay the money back, but that doesn't mean it's gotta be a punishment. Why not have some fun? I talked to your boss, and we're throwing a fundraiser for us to get the rest of the money. And the best part, you're the star of the show.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Sorry I ruined your chances of going to Broadway.
It doesn't matter if I only dance here and not on a big stage. As long as I have you, I can dance anywhere. He held me in his light again. This time, I knew I wouldn't get lost in the dark.
What a cute love. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned. I'll be back with more videos and I'm out.